Just can't tell it all. Just can't tell it all. It
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Conversations with the Culture. Listen, I am your host, Elder Marcus, and with me is the lovely lady Drina.
Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Conversations with the Culture. And I hope you
And
guys are excited. We're going to have a great conversation today. So I'm excited about it.
I am too. Now, listen, Drina, we are diving deep. We are
Oh, my
diving
Lord,
deep. We are
today.
diving deep.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going into a topic that has been on our radar and has been in the eyes of the public for so very long. And it has
Yeah.
to do with the unsettling circumstances that are surrounding the financial handling and the overall management of our beloved church, New Life Church of Orlando, that is located at 3311 North Powers Drive in the
Yes.
city of Orlando.
Yes. Yes. So we're gonna dive deep, and I'm I can't wait. And so thank you to everybody that's joining in. Let us know that you are here. Please do share, and engage in this conversation with us on tonight.
That's right. It's important. So, really, it's high time that we talk about this because the community has held its peace for far too long. And when I say the community, I'm speaking of the members of New Life Church of God in Christ. We have held our um, silence far too long. We haven't said anything for a very long time. Excuse me, I have to sneeze.
Yes, we've actually been very quiet. You guys know some things that we've been able to release, but not the totality of things. And so,
Mhm.
even now, we probably won't be able to give you the totality of the things, but
We're
we can
gonna
get you
get
closer
close.
to it. We'll
We
definitely
are
get you
going to
closer
get you
to
close.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So keep in mind that one of the things that we want you all to remember is that we have been a beacon of light in the city of Orlando and the community since 1999. And it is sad that we have to witness the days that these days that we are in currently with what's going on with our church. We're back almost as if it was 1999 or the year 2000. And so we're witnessing these days where we are back in a place where the very essence and possibly the existence of New Life Church of Orlando is at stake here in the city. So, despite the hardships that we have gone through, despite all of the things that have transpired since 1999, this community has always maintained. And when I'm saying this community, I'm speaking of the New Life Church of
The New
Orlando.
Life Church of Orlando. Yeah.
New Life Church of Orlando, all from Malone Memorial to Orlando OIC to New
Mm-hmm.
Life. It has always maintained, number one, the dignity.
Mm-hmm.
And it has always maintained, we have always maintained our faith in God and a strong community connection.
Yeah.
So we want everybody to understand absolutely that we are not giving up at all.
Not that's quitting is not an option.
It's not. It's
Not an
absolutely not an
option.
option. So, unfortunately, we are at a place, and it's almost unbelievable right now. And I'm going to throw this name out here, Drina, and it seems unbelievable to many people because, see, we had another instance. We had two incidents. We had an incident the week before last, and we had another incident this weekend at our church. And a lot of people were actually unaware of what was going on because we were able to, just like the week before,
To
we
keep
were
it
able to keep it
mhm,
quiet.
quiet.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And so it seems unbelievable. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question, Trina.
All right, talk to me.
How much money? No, okay, so let me throw this out at you. If I were to take from you, let's say, um, well, let me ask you this. Would you sue me for $500?
No, I wouldn't sue you for 500.
Okay. What about 1,000?
I probably wouldn't sue you for 1,000 either.
What about 5,000?
I would sue you. I would
Okay.
sue you for 5,000 and above. Just to be honest. Yeah, 5,000 and above. I've
Okay, so
been in
anything.
situations where
Mhm.
$1,000. I've lost $1,000 before,
So have I. So have I.
and yeah, so I've never sued them, and I don't even pursue it. I feel like God have His vengeance. I'm just gonna chill, in a sense.
Well,
So
what would God's vengeance, what would entail God's vengeance? And the reason I say that is because what if there's something that happens regarding that $5,000 or that $1,000, and it's God's vengeance that they be punished by the law of the land?
and if that transpires, then that is what's going to happen.
Okay.
I feel like for me, it's going to take a lot for me to actually do it, and 5,000 is more than enough for me to really go. I'm not afraid of law enforcement. And I've been in law enforcement for about 17 years. I'm not afraid to file a case. I'm not afraid to go to court. I'm not afraid to call the police. So it's okay to handle your business the proper way. So if you need to take someone to civil court, criminal court, I've actually done it.
Okay.
There's someone in jail right now that we've taken to court, so that don't fear me. It just depends for me what's important to do it.
Okay. All right. Would you sue someone for $10,000? So
Yes.
you said upwards. All right. What
I
about
said
50?
up, yeah,
Up.
definitely.
Okay. All right. So
Anything above $5,000, I'm suing you. That is a felony.
do you think, all right, that is a felony.
It's a
So
felony.
it's a felony. So let's talk to the people in the essence of, if you were a member of an organization, let's say a Christian organization, and it came to your understanding. Now I'm going to count. All right.
Okay,
I'm going
let's
to
count.
count.
Let's
Do you
count.
think that it is applicable that anyone who steals, and I mean anyone who
Anyone.
steals from the ministry, is, if it's $100,000, should they go to jail?
Absolutely. I think um they should be
I,
prosecuted.
all right. How about 200,000?
They need to be prosecuted and they
How
need to
about
pay restitution back to the church.
300,000?
They need to be prosecuted and they need to pay restitution back to the church.
How about 400,000?
Be prosecuted and pay restitution back to the church.
How about 500,000?
Be prosecuted and pay restitution back to the church.
How about 600,000?
Listen, yeah, most definitely. I don't understand how someone could get to that amount. If you were able to get to that amount and you wasn't prosecuted a long time ago, that is ridiculous.
They
There is no reason for
there are
somebody to get to that
comments.
amount now.
Welcome the
That's
audience.
definitely
There
insane.
it is trouble when it gets to that amount. Now,
It's so much trouble.
there's a comment that says stop going
Stop
up.
going up. I see
All
you.
right.
Okay.
There's a comment that says stop going up. Now, the reason that I threw that number out there is because I want everybody to understand that when Bishop Hutchins, in his untimely demise, when we said on the other day on our other podcast that Bishop Hutchins left us completely solvent, I don't know how better to give you all this information that right, if we get to a million, well, we're right at the tiptoe of a million, so at the doorstep of $1 million. So what I'm saying is, if there is evidence and proof that funds in excess of 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and upwards have been misappropriated by any organization, regardless of whether that
Any
organization
organization.
is religious or not, should those people be prosecuted?
Absolutely.
Because those are actually laws that are in place. Now, I want to say, when I tell, again, let me back up, because I want to say, when I said that Bishop Hutchins left us completely solvent, he left us completely solvent. What does that mean? Repairs, money for the future. He was a forward thinker, forward thinker. He thought not just for this current, like,
Exactly.
he thought what happens years down the road.
Yes.
And in
Yes.
order for you to be a leader of a church, somebody call it out, somebody. God killed Ananias and Sapphira for stealing. They
Yes, he
gave
did
up the
now.
gold.
Gave
That's
up
what
the
the word
ghost.
said. It
You
said they
better
gave
say
up the
that,
ghost.
Lisa.
And so
Absolutely.
it is important to understand that when he died, he didn't leave us to be able to have to struggle.
Right.
So let me say this to everyone, because I want people who were not and may not even remember that there were conversations that were had, that we were in good financial standing. And maybe at the time when those conversations were held, we were.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too, because
I
the money has been,
absolutely doubt it. I mean, the
yeah,
court has proven that. So, I
yeah,
mean, we don't even have to
absolutely
put
doubt.
the court proved that by showing us a record from December to January where there was $100,000 missing.
And
So,
that's
I
just a
mean,
$100,000,
and that's
ladies and
just a
gentlemen.
100,000 out of one account. Our church is
Solvent, ladies and gentlemen.
a
You listen to
mega
what she's
church in the
saying.
city. Our church is a mega church in the city, and we consist with multiple bank accounts. And so that was just one bank account from December to January with over $100,000 gone.
Over
One bank
100,000,
account.
just one
And
bank
mind
account.
you, our bishop passed away December the 5th.
Yes, he did.
December the 5th. And so in 1 month span after his passing, that much money is missing.
It's ridiculous. It is
That's cons
absolutely
that's crazy.
ridiculous. Um, One of the other things that I wanted to also point out and just make clear, again, I cannot express to you all the level um, of solvency that we were at the time of
And you
Bishop's
said that
untimely
correct,
passing. We were
were.
at the level of solvency that we were, that we had no financial issues. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we are fed up as a church. We
Extremely.
are extremely fed up. And I am extremely angry. I'm not even disappointed anymore because the disappointment left me when people will side with an evil person.
But that lets you know about the people. So, they're gonna have to answer to God. They gotta answer to God for everything they do. Everybody that can see what's happening and choose to be blind, because that's a choice. You are choosing now to be blind. The Bible says who the Son has set free is free indeed.
That's
So
right.
if you choose to be blind, then there's consequences for your choice.
And that's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. And what we are seeing, Drina, one of the things that we are absolutely seeing is the mishandling of funds and also the amount of people who are standing by the fact, even after they hear the evidence, maybe they need to see it with their own eyes. And those days
Maybe.
are
Maybe
coming.
they need to see it. Yeah.
Maybe, because sometimes for some people, seeing is believing. But also remember that we are standing up against a level of tradition and
Mhm.
belief that
Mhm.
is like an ancient, it has set up an altar in their minds. This is why they are unable to get beyond it, because within their minds there's an altar set up of protocol versus God.
That's good.
People worship protocol, and not only do, when you worship protocol, what happens is you put a person and personality over God. So
Yes.
we are
And that's
dealing with
idolatry.
it's idolatry. It is idolatry. We are
Mhm.
dealing with the spirit of idolatry in the church,
In the church.
because the people are don't. It's almost it, and it even goes back even to the communities that because we kept saying this, the community where if it happens in the house, keep it in the
It
house.
stays in the house.
That's so
Don't go outside.
detrimental. It's
Yes,
so
it is.
detrimental because so many lives have been
Yeah,
destroyed. And God is
absolutely.
going to hold us accountable, church. New Life Church of Orlando, God is going to hold us accountable if we do not
Absolutely.
stand up
The
and
Bible
say
says the
something.
blood will be
It's
required
required. It's
at our
required.
hands. It's required at our hands.
Let me
Woe,
whoa, what say whoa, what?
woe unto you.
Mm,
Woe.
mm. Let me
Oh, that's
say
the Bible.
that's word of God. People have to understand, one of the things that people have to understand is this. You have to understand that attorney Mike McMillan, and I think her name is Odessa Joyner, they
Yes.
don't care about our church.
No, they don't.
The funds that are coming into the church that were set up to run the facility, to run the church and the facility, are being used to pay them, amongst other things, but it's being used to pay them to keep the church members out of the church. We are
So how
family.
you taking our tithes and offering that we're giving to pay people that's not even working for us? We're
Herb
the
McMillan. I'm
church.
sorry, Herb McMillan. Let me get his name right because I don't want to
Yeah.
call out the wrong attorney name.
Mike is
Herb
ours. Yeah,
McMillan. Mike,
that's right.
yeah,
Mike
attorney
is
Mike
ours.
is our. Herb McMillan and Odessa Joyner are being
Yes.
paid to keep the family away from the church. And it doesn't matter what side of the fence you stand on, we are still family. Now,
That's
I
right.
let
We
you know
are.
I'm solid. I'm solid where
I'm
I'm
solid
standing
too.
as
I'm
as it relates to the leadership,
solid.
because there's absolutely nothing, and it is a shame. But you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that we are being, only in America can you take money that belongs to the church and use it to sue the church.
To sue the
Only
church.
in America.
You can take our tithes and
Only in
offerings to
America.
sue the church, to sue the people.
Only in America can you do that. Only. Have you ever? Now you talk about the land of the free and the home of the brave, but it's also it's also the land of the thieves and the land of
Ah,
the con artists
ah,
and the land of the connivers
ah.
and the land of the robbers, the
Mm,
murderers. It's the land of all these things. And when you have leadership that will walk in the spirit of idolatry, the
mm.
spirit of protocol, and first of all, There's nothing wrong with protocol because protocol is right. Those are standards, but they are not
But the
God.
standard must be set on godly
God,
foundations.
exactly,
How can
exactly.
you have anything that's a protocol or a standard that didn't first start with the foundation of Christ?
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So, I know that some of you may or may not remember, and we just want to bring this back to your attention. Bear with us for just a moment.
Strength and wisdom, we all continue looking up. Thank you, sir. April 26, 2023, to the members of New Life. The Board of Trustees of New Life Ministry met Friday, April 21st, 2023. One of the major agendas and items that covered during that meeting was regarding the general financial and legal health of the church. During the meeting, we were fortunate to have an objective banker, financier, professional, Mr. Paolo E. He's a commercial loan officer and financier, to present his findings relative to the financial health of New Life Church. He reviewed the following items prior to the discussion with the board: revenue from January 2023 through March 2023, expenses from January 2023 through March 2023, and revenue and expenses for the same period in 2022 and the full years of actuals. He utilized the above data to conclude the following. The New Life Church financial picture is healthy. The 2023 full year trajectory based on his assessment is that expenses will be adequately covered based on equal to or better than revenue in comparison to full year 2022. The overall debt of New Life Church versus its value is healthy and has New Life Church financially positioned in a very favorable manner. After reviewing this information with him, majority of the board of directors have concluded that New Life Church is financially healthy. Furthermore, the board also concluded that this healthy position is in large part due to the membership's faithful and steadfast financial giving of tithes and offering. The board also discussed and reviewed the current litigation matters, and as you can appreciate, we are not at liberty to elaborate on these matters because they are in active litigation status. However, please be advised of the following. All matters relative to the various litigations have adequately legal representation. Second, we are confident that all matters will be resolved and will not impact the financial stability of New Life Church. And third, the board members will not be held liable for any of these matters. In summary, the litigation matters are being appropriately addressed, and we solicit your prayers for a speedy and successful outcome. Finally, the board would like to ask you to join in expressing our sincere appreciation to Pastor D for his dedication and professional attentiveness to these complex matters over the past 4 months while dealing with his own personal immense grief. Additionally, please join us in continuing to lift him up in prayer that God will provide him with the ongoing strength and wisdom we all continue looking up and moving forward.
Now, Drina, somebody wrote that speech.
Somebody wrote that speech.
Somebody wrote that speech. And why weren't the findings put in evidence in court?
In court.
And are you talking about one account, two accounts? Because remember, they said that they were going to have a meeting.
A meeting.
A meeting.
Yeah.
Now, also, she also mentioned, Tangela Thomas also mentioned.
Yes, that was Tangela
That there
Thomas,
was
for those of you that wanted to know.
Exactly. She said that there was a board meeting. and that we were in good financial standing. So
That's exactly what she said.
I want to know who were the board members that were present,
Mm, good
and where are
question.
the minutes
From
of
that
that
said
meeting?
meeting.
And why weren't those minutes presented? And if those minutes were recorded, then that means that there is a detailed list of all the board members that were present during that meeting who saw the finances. And if those board members were present and they saw the finances, then how much was actually shown and how much did they tell y'all that they had?
Mm.
Who was the so-called treasurer at that time? Because right now, what I am seeing is that Tangela Thomas is running the show. Tangela Thomas is running the show. Dennis ain't off the hook,
Not at
because
all.
he's not off the hook because he pointing the
Not at
finger.
all. Right.
Do this, do that. He's pointing the finger. And she's like that thing in his ear whispering.
You can do this, you can
So
do that.
you could do this, you could do that. Just like she jumped up and called the police on us on the
Right.
Sunday before last because she had a misunderstanding. I didn't even gonna say she had a misunderstanding. She didn't know. She
That's
thought
just
that
the
we could
evil
not be
intent that's within them.
evil intent, evil. And
Evil.
when I tell you that, I have to go back to that Academy Award. That girl is such an actress. It's both. Listen, I have to go back to this order. Because when the judge asked us told the church to put together an interim administrative board, they were placed together to work for the benefit of the church in its entirety. That means for each person, man, woman, boy, and or girl who is in our church. It doesn't matter who you call your pastor. The interim board is set and designed to handle the affairs of the church, the income of the church. And every time we raise money, they take it. The grounds are a mess.
And not just the grounds, the
That's number
inside of
one.
inside of the sanctuary. I mean, the seats are falling,
Now, what's going to
caving
happen, Drika,
in,
when we
all
say
kinds of
this?
things.
What they're going to do is they're going to try to go and clean stuff up.
Well, go do it.
But
Let
do
me
it.
keep
Do it.
saying
That's
it.
why we're saying it,
Yeah,
because we
let me
want
keep
you to do
saying
it.
it.
That's why we
Bathrooms
want you to
got
do it.
out of order signs on majority of the bathrooms because they're not working, but we spent money on bathroom.
When I tell y'all we were left solvent, we were left solvent. None of this should be happening at our church right now. Where is the money? Where is the
That's
money?
the question.
Where is the money? Where have
Where's the
where
money?
have you put it? I believe
If you put it anywhere.
if you put it anywhere, but I'm kind of leaning to the fact in my mind, my thought process is it's been hidden, and maybe his children are involved. I don't know. I
Well,
know
if it's
Tangela is involved heavily because there are
well,
checks that were written with her
directly
name
to
on it
her in the
directly.
10,000s of the dollars.
Why would you write a check to Tangela Thomas
Of
for,
$10,000.
and not only that, but that amount? But why would you write it to her for air conditioning instead of writing it to the air conditioning company themselves, if that's what the $10,000 was for? Because I don't think that's the only. Now, the check was written to her, but there were other monies that were used, that were pulled out.
Pulled out.
We want answers. Now, the judge threw us a ball. The judge threw us a ball because, see, what Herb McMillan is going to do, and Odysseus Joyner, they're going to keep on getting money. They're going to keep on getting our money. They're going to keep on getting our money. They're going to keep on getting our money. And the goal is to make us wait this thing as all the way out. If God allowed Dennis to live until he's 90 years old, we're going to be in litigation. If God allow him to live and don't change and don't give him a change of heart to make him see, we're gonna be this can, because their attempt is to get as much money as they can.
It's a money grab. That's exactly what it is. It's a money grab
And they've already counted up the cost, and they do not care about this church or about the people.
at
If I
all.
give you something, you know, when we were children, right? And your parents gave you things, they gave it to you, and you messed the toys up and whatever you had. You know why? Because you did not have a level of appreciation for it,
Right. Right.
because somebody is always giving you something.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, if they give, but a church is not something that you can give to anyone, because it doesn't belong to any one particular person. It belongs to a group. So now, because he took it, and it wasn't it what he took it unceremoniously, unscrupulously, as well as unethically, evil, wicked, low down. Because of that, we are in the position that we are in. Why is the church in disarray? I promise to God, Jesus is my witness, that it look like people live in that building,
My
like an
Lord today.
apartment complex,
My
or
Lord
it
today.
looks like people are living. The other night, we were standing outside in the back of the church, and one of the brothers pointed out, said, "Hey, it's dark." I said, "It look like a TV on," and I didn't even. And it said a TV on, because you know how when you at night, when the TV
Mhm.
and you
Mhm.
can
It
see the light,
glares out a little
it
bit. Yeah.
glares, and then
Yeah.
it flashes, and because it goes to different
Mhm.
scenes and stuff like
Yes.
that. Looking like somebody living upstairs, and that's what it looked like. But not only that, the church has been turned almost into like uh, 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 I don't want to, for lack of a better, it's turned into a whorehouse almost to me, because we have people coming in and out, in and out. And I'm saying the way it's like you've turned my house into a den of thieves.
Yeah.
This is what the
And
Lord,
the tenants have no respect for the
no
property.
respect,
The tenants that are
no
there, a
respect.
few of them, I wouldn't say all of them, Imma say a few of them have no respect for the property, especially the ones that are using the fellowship hall as a kitchen
A
and
kitchen
using
and
it
a
as a
church.
school and a church. Well,
Hmm.
um,
It's
I see more
filthy.
problems with the cafeteria people.
Yeah,
I
because
mean, they're
that's where we normally are too.
yeah.
For the majority. But even in the hall, like the outside building around the hall, when you walk out the doors and stuff, you look at the
It's
grounds are
disgusting.
just a mess. The
Yes,
garbage is
disgusting.
constantly overflowing. That is a reoccurring bill, just like the water bill. The garbage bill is a reoccurring bill because there are dumpsters. The
Right.
only time those people do not pick up your garbage is
When you
because
don't
you are
pay.
not paying.
Absolutely. If you don't
That's a
pay, they don't
reoccurring
come.
bill.
Yes.
When Bishop was alive, that garbage dumpster was never overflowing like
No.
this. The
No.
bill was paid. He walked the grounds. I will come up and Minister Eric Du Bois, we could tell you that Bishop will walk up, and Minister Carter, me and brother Darrell. We could tell you that if Bishop was pulling up at the same time that we were pulling up and we were walking up, he would say, "Elder, look at." He remind me of my father, because my father used to do the same thing. You see that piece of paper sitting? He didn't. My daddy didn't like any trash in our yard. He didn't want to see any trash in our yard. And that's the same way when I walk around the sanctuary and look at all the trash and the disarray on the inside of the sanctuary and the outside of the sanctuary. Who is thoughtful enough to walk around on something? See, you don't care because you don't care
And the
about it.
thing is, Bishop took pride in what
Right,
he had. He took pride in what he
right.
had.
There has not been, let me jump back on this money thing with you, Drina, because
Yeah.
just think about it. There has not been a single report, not a single report, illustrating how the funds, and y'all, we got a lot of stuff. That's why you see me looking over, because I had to write this stuff down because it's so much. We have a lot of funds that we don't know how they have been utilized. except for a few, maybe we've seen a few small cosmetic touch-ups, is what I would say they are. A few cosmetic touch-ups here and there. And what is even more shocking is that it has been, since the IAB has been set up, it has been a blatant disregard of the court's order. It was clearly instructed that we work together collectively for the betterment of the entire congregation. Sadly, it seems to be benefiting just a few and not the entire. What they are doing is they are lining their pockets while the majority of the church is looking at, well, no, what's if you care about this sanctuary, if you care about this church, clean it up.
Clean it.
If you care about it,
Clean it.
get the repairs done like they're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Use that money the way that it is supposed to be used.
Yeah.
Pay your own bills.
Pay your own bills.
Pay your own bills. And that is the bills of the church. The light bill is always due. The mortgage bill
is always due monthly.
Monthly. Thank you. The water bill, the light, the garbage, the internet. Y'all,
Monthly.
it is a, and they don't even care. They don't. I wonder who is walking. Those children are what they got the play. If the children wanted to come and knock down the internet wire and all that, they could do just that. Not one time has that man that runs that school tried to get out there to fix any of those things. The internet stuff, just the cables just hanging around the doors where the cafeteria areas, wires just hanging.
I mean, I don't
Trash
understand how
everywhere.
it's okay to even have kids
And they leave
in
the
there.
doors unlocked.
Yeah, there's really not even a kitchen area in there, which is not proper code for a school. And I don't understand how they keep, closing their eyes to that. And the fact that you have such, you have this school and nobody cleans up. Nobody. There's hot dog buns, there's cookie, candy,
Paper
trash
plates,
left, paper
trash.
plates. They leave their book bags. They leave everything. And on purpose, they squish all the chairs together and choose not to separate them. Like all kinds of little
Because,
things.
and you know why they got all those chairs in there and that stuff, and those people are doing that. And you know what I'm going to do? The next time I see him, I'm going to ask him how come he leave. He don't have the people cleaning up this place like they supposed
It
to.
should be
They
clean.
do not care.
They never clean. They
They don't
don't care.
care.
The trash is overflowing in the bathrooms.
Let me
So
catch him.
disgusting. Trash
And
overflowing in
and
the
whoever watching,
It's disgusting.
y'all go back and tell him that he gonna hear from
He
me.
can ride around in this pretty Mercedes. I bet your car ain't running around with trash. Why leave the church like that?
Because they don't care. It makes me wonder if your house look like. Do you
It's so
walk through as the
disgusting.
principal or and it ain't and you know what? I'm not even gonna leave it on. I'm gonna throw it on Dennis because Dennis put him in there.
Sure did.
Now
Sure
you
did.
wouldn't even walk. Bishop would never have them. There are standards. Keep the place clean and
Clean
orderly.
and orderly.
You know, children gonna
Period.
be messy. Children are gonna be messy.
They do what they do. They
But you
kids.
have the adults in there. The adults are in there who can clean up after the children or hire staff to clean it up. It shouldn't look
Exactly.
like that.
At all.
We should no other entity that utilizes anything should have to come in there and
And have
clean
to
up
clean up after
afterwards.
you.
No,
Clean up after
it shouldn't
you.
happen.
But
It
that's
shouldn't.
what's happening. The
No,
people
we
that come in on
spend.
Saturdays, they have to clean up after them. When we come in on Tuesdays, we
We
have to
gotta
clean
clean
up.
up. And
We got
we
to
come
set up
in
chairs.
on a
We
Sunday.
got to
We gotta
sweep
clean
up.
up.
We got to. It's just ridiculous.
It is. It is.
Ridiculous.
And it has to stop. So I might have to say something, period.
I'm
And I
gonna
think
start
I
taking
am.
pictures. It's
I
disgusting.
already did. I
But
took
praise be
pictures
unto
and video.
God.
I already started, but all the more.
That is disgusting.
All the more can help. It's time, church, New Life Church of Orlando, whether you were on the left or whether you were on the right, it's time to demand transparency. You ask questions and insist on being shown financial records.
Because you
Y'all
have
have
the right.
never,
That's your right.
y'all have never, y'all have never asked to see anything. And if you have and you were not shown it, it's because they don't care. You give, and we've been drilling that to you all. Y'all sit back and let all of this stuff go on. And I'm not fussing at the people, but what I'm saying is I'm angry at how they have treated us, of how we have been treated by these people who don't care. The church can fall apart, the roof can cave in, and they wouldn't even care. The roof can cave all the way in, and they won't even care. They won't care. The toilets can overflow, the building can flood. They won't even care because it's not in their heart. The leadership that's it's not even it's two parts. The court is actually in charge right now, but we're doing everything that we possibly can to follow the guidelines that the judge has said, that judge has set in place. We are trying our very hardest to do that, but every time we do, we get hit with we run up against a brick wall.
Every
We run
time.
up against a brick wall. We run up against a
Yeah.
brick wall. So this past Sunday, Herb McMillan was at the church in the office. They probably thought that we were going to try to go inside the sanctuary, so they put him there. But if we wanted to, we could have. If we wanted to, we could have. And they also hired security. The judge said no
No
security.
security.
So when the people were done, the security for them came over talking about where's your pastor? We're like, what you mean, where's our pastor? Who are you? Who are you? Where's your pastor? Who hired you? Come to find out, the security was hired by Greg Massey, hired security. And they come over to, we have never,
Who is
whenever
part of the IAB,
he is part of the IAB and he knows better.
and he
But it's
knows
all
better.
right.
Well, he might not know better.
Nah, he know better. Even through the fog. Let's read between the lines. Even through the fog, he knows better. He knows better. And they asked for him. Thank you. The security guard actually asked for Elder Massey.
Sure
He didn't
did.
call him Elder Massey. He said,
Greg Massey.
Mr. Massey.
Greg Massey.
Where's Mr. Massey? That's who he asked for. And it has been a complete, like, we have to stand. It's time to stand united and bring back the dignity of our church, the dignity and the faith that defines New Life Church of Orlando, that once defined us, that defined us. It defined our church and it defined our community and the culture. And we don't use the culture of our church is not with, I don't use the letter C. We use the letter K because it represents kingdom. We're talking about kingdom culture. And the culture of our church we need to come back and bring back the dignity and the faith that defined our culture and defined our community. We should not let anyone's greedy hands tarnish what we built, what has been built over the years with love, dedication, time, money, sweat, tears. It's like we're going backwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like we're
absolutely.
going backwards. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. We got to take a commercial break. Got to take a commercial break, and we will be right back. Lady Trina,
Yes.
I, I. You know what?
What?
I've waited. All
You've
right.
waited.
I'm on
Okay.
the other side of the awards this year.
I see that. Isn't that awesome?
On the other side of the awards. I want to give a congratulations and a shout out not only to us, because we are also on the receiving. Well, we're not on the receiving end, but we are nominees.
Nominees.
Conversations with the Culture has been nominated for an award this year. So there are
Yes.
quite a few things going on. Not only has
Praise
Conversations with the
team.
Culture, but the praise team has also been nominated.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. That's a lot of hard
That's
work, ladies and
exciting.
gentlemen. We did this, and sometimes you might even feel as if you have been overlooked or what have you. But it is during those times that when you are least expected that it happens. And
Mm-hmm.
I was least expected. Um, I was not even expecting this, but three award nominations, and also a performance. And I call it a ministry. I don't want to call it a performance, but I'll be ministering at the Tampa Bay Gospel Music Awards
And I'm
this
actually being
year.
honored this year at the same
Uh,
Tampa Bay Awards.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in the second half of Conversations with the Culture. You all know him, and some of you may not, but he is a good friend of ours, a great brother, somebody that we love very much. I'm just waiting for him to show up right now. That's
Yeah.
pretty
We,
much what
we
I'm
we need
doing.
you to
I'm
show up,
waiting
man of
for him to
God.
show up, and to
Join us.
share some things to join. Yeah, he's going to join us on tonight.
Join.
And ladies and gentlemen, you're really going to enjoy the conversation that we're going to have with our special guest on tonight. He's never been on Conversations with the Culture before.
Not once, but this is going to be
Uh,
exciting.
He's
I'm
been
super
talked about on
excited.
Conversations,
Yes.
but he has never been an actual
As
guest on
a
Conversations.
supporter of conversations as well. So he's always supporting,
Yeah,
always on supporting.
always on. And so we're just waiting for him to pop in. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what? I think he is here. Come on, put your hands
Oh,
together,
put your
ladies and
hands
gentlemen.
together.
Oh,
Hold
cut
on.
it out.
Hey,
Yes, had
Y'all
to
are
had to
something
give you
else.
got to give you a little something on that one. Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Make
thank you,
sure they
thank
know
you.
you're here.
So what are
it
we talking
is.
about, Saints? What are we talking about?
Y'all
Listen,
listen, if
you
y'all
know
don't
what's
know who
going
this
on
man
here.
is, you got to know this is the maestro himself. He is one of, if not the absolute best organist that I've ever come in contact with. That is the
Oh,
maestro Randolph Carter, who
Minister.
is, listen,
wow.
Minister Randolph Carter, and he is the man with the plan
Wow.
for the New Life Church of Orlando. I'm telling
Yes,
you, there's
yes.
nobody
Absolutely.
better that can do what they do for us at New Life.
That's right. We really appreciate you, Brother Randolph. You know how much I really appreciate you and love you. We formed a bond and a relationship. I was actually on a podcast the other night with Tiffany Boone, and I was
Oh,
bigging
wow.
you up.
Oh, Lord.
We were talking about how the relationship is between the minister of music and the DM. And,
Oh, yeah.
I was letting them know, I said, well, some of the things that I was hearing, I was saying, well, I don't have that problem because
Right.
we we talk about everything. If he says he don't like it, and I'll be like, okay, well, let's try it. Or he says,
Right.
I say I don't like it. He say, let's try it. We try it. We work things
Yeah,
out. And so um,
absolutely.
I appreciate you, and I hope that your day has been going well. So, the reason that we wanted you to come on, Minister Carter, is so that you could share some things about how you got here. So, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? And
Okay.
a little bit of how you begin in the music ministry itself.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. Um, I got to Orlando through Bishop Hutchins. We knew, me and my wife, we knew of his ministry, of course, coming from South Carolina jurisdiction of the Churches of God in Christ.
Mhm.
And for me personally, I actually started my music ministry as a young man. I came from a family of several musicians, singers, so forth, preachers. That, just to give you a background on that. But as far as how I got here, it was actually always a dream of mine, um, as a young man coming up, to play for two individuals. That would be initially uh, Bishop G.E. Patterson and Bishop Derek Hutchins. And I never had the opportunity to play for Bishop G.E. Patterson, but God actually granted me a dream of mine, a desire of mine, to be able to play for Bishop Derek Hutchins. He was superintendent then. That's before he became bishop. And
Yes, yes.
I actually came here at a time where it wasn't necessarily popular to be connected with him, but God allowed us to do some great things in the years that I was able to serve the ministry. So yeah, it's a dream come true. Even now, it's a dream come true. I've since being here, I ran into several musicians, singers, so forth. They're like, "You still at New Life?" They're like, "Yeah, where I'm
Still at
going
New
at, where I'm
Life.
going at." And
Right, right.
since that time, it's been about 10 years at this point, going on 11 years since I've been here serving New Life, and it's been a blessing. It's been ups and downs, as you know, but
Yeah, of
yeah,
course.
it's been a
Minister
privilege.
Randolph, you are a rare jewel, and
Yes,
the
sir.
reason I say that is because a lot of the ministers of music, the musicians that I've met here in this city, and maybe it's pandemic or endemic everywhere in the state,
Mhm.
but they flip flop from one church to the other.
Oh man,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
they
yeah.
Yes.
never stay
I don't
Yes.
believe
consistent
in
with
that
the
church hopping.
ministry.
I don't
Mhm.
believe in that church
Yeah.
hopping,
No
They
man.
do it.
stability at all.
They go to the
Hmm.
highest bidder. Whoever's going to pay
Exactly.
them, that's where they're going. There's no faithfulness. There's no longevity.
As
They
Bishop
go
would say,
wherever the wind blows.
hireling.
Hireling,
Hireling.
hireling,
Yeah,
and it is a steeped in spirit. I have been accused of being faithful to a fault, but it is just the way that I was raised.
yeah,
I was
absolutely.
brought up
Likewise.
to, and
Yeah,
I would, even some of my family members, they would be like, "Hey, let's go over to so and so." I'm not the one that runs to every church because a prophet is in town or this, and you
exactly,
don't know what you are going into. And this is nothing
exactly.
against the people who do that. If that's what you do, that's what you do, and
That's
that's
what you
okay.
do.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
get it, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm not running from place to place, from pillar to post. That's not me.
yeah, exactly.
So you are a treasure, you
Mhm.
are a jewel, you are
Thank you.
faithful, and
Yes,
and
sir.
that speaks volumes. I think that many people in the music ministry who are ministers of music and praise and worship leaders should take notes from someone who has the stability and the
Mhm.
longevity that you have. And you haven't even cracked 40 yet. Like
Oh
you
no,
you
not
are
at all.
setting an example to people who are much older than you who do
Wow,
this, and been
wow,
doing it for a long time, and they've been running from place to place for a
And
long
then if
time.
I can
wow.
add something to that, his skill level is so amazing. There are churches that would pay him a lot more than what he gets
Wow.
or
He's
not
worth
get
he's worth
Wow.
he's worth
here.
six
Yeah.
figures. He's
Listen,
definitely
like
worth six
it
figures.
could really say and go somewhere else, and they would
Yeah.
somewhere else would give him
He's
exactly what he wants,
Yeah.
well,
probably more.
It's
they
So that's
will.
crazy.
just what's humbling.
I could tell a testimony. I remember this was a few years back. I won't mention his name, but it was a major a major figure. He came in town inquiring of me, trying to get me to transition to Savannah, Georgia, because he owns a lot of property. He's in High Cotton down up that way, and he came in thinking that he was able to offer me a certain amount of money to get me to move and this and the third, and oh, I'm gonna set you up. It was a
It's
Sweet
sweet
deal,
great.
deal.
sweet
I'm
deal,
telling
yeah.
you. And so he came to church that particular Sunday morning, and he was just sitting there. He just kind of watching, I guess, observing to see how I operated and function. And after church, Bishop came to me. He said, "No, well, this is after the news got out through my godfather that Bishop, you know who
Oh
was sitting in the
God.
audience there?" Bishop was like, "No, who was that?" He's like, Bishop. Well, my godfather told him who he was. He's like, "Why didn't
Yes.
y'all introduce me to this guy? Why did y'all tell me who he was?" And but at the same time, I didn't accept the offer because it's just something that I didn't want to do. I felt like, ministry was definitely more important than
Yeah,
receiving, you know, more money, going to do things outside of my desires to please God as well. So it was,
absolutely.
Speaks volume. I'm telling
That
y'all.
speaks
yeah.
Now,
volumes.
for what
And
people
you
don't
come to
know,
Bible study, you
Oh man,
come to Sunday
yeah,
school. This is
yeah,
real because a
yeah.
lot of musicians, soon as the preacher get up to preach, they're out on their break. That's their lunch break.
our
Right.
musicians
That's
don't
true.
leave their corner. Now
And it's true.
they do go take their restroom break, but they come back. They
Right, but
stay
they
in the
Yeah.
come
pit.
right back
They
and they
stay
Yes.
in the
stay.
pit.
But that's not
Yes.
common in most
No.
churches.
Right.
Not
Right.
common at all. That's their lunch break. That's their
Yes.
smoke break or whatever
Right.
break they choose to have. Y'all
Well,
know what I'm
well, so
talking about.
coming up in the church early, they said, "Listen, use the restroom before church start."
Before
That's
church
what
came
my
up.
start.
mama used to
I'm
That's
say.
my
telling
Don't
we
be
dad.
we
getting
came
up
up
and
in
walking
church.
around.
I'm
Yeah.
telling we came up in
Don't
church.
be
The
Don't
getting
ushers
get
up
out
and
wouldn't even
there
let
walking
you.
down.
around.
The ushers wouldn't even let you out the door after
No,
this point. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
no.
So I've
Yes.
been, trained like that since a kid. So I just, that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's that's what it is.
and what people don't know is this, Randolph, is that this guy offered Randolph a secular position,
Oh yeah, yeah,
a secular with benefits, with money, prestige, and it would actually have put him in.
yes, yeah,
We wouldn't see him right now.
Other
Ain't
people,
no,
would
there's
have
no
taken
telling.
it.
yeah,
Other people would
absolutely.
have taken it.
But you know what? I'm
Definitely.
glad. I'm glad I didn't take it because it happened at a time where if I would have taken it, COVID, all of these different
Yes,
things
Yes.
bro.
hit right
Yes.
behind that. So if I would
Yeah.
have just, chased the dollar at the time, I could have been
Hmm.
anywhere, just lost or whatever,
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thank God I was able to just stay and, remain faithful to the leader and able to serve the leader
That's
until
right.
until his demise. So
Now,
yeah.
Amen.
at his untimely death, we have all been going through
Hmm.
just really, really like going through. We've gone through the grievance stage. We've gone through the anger stage.
Oh yeah.
We've gone through the disappointment. We've just had a roller coaster of emotions that we've actually been through.
Yes.
So like right now with the situation that is happening in our church,
Hmm.
regardless of what side of the fence you stand on,
Hmm.
give me your viewpoint because you were also a part of we in the music department, we spoke the loudest,
Oh yeah.
and we didn't
We
waste
hollered.
time. We
We
hollered,
Yes.
screamed.
we
Right.
screamed and
We
hollered.
shouted and kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, Randolph, from December the 5th up until now, how have you been feeling and what are give us your take on what you see.
Oh man, where do I start?
I
Well,
know.
from December 5th to now, um, at this point, I'll say at this point, at least I can see the light at the end
Yeah.
of the tunnel because prior to where we are right now, and it was like, oh God, where are we going? Where are we
Yeah.
going? And just to see where the quality of service went down,
Yeah.
seeing individuals that you love and you endear, see them walk away, see
Yeah.
relationships, people you've been close with for so long look at you like you're a stranger, or all these
Yes.
different things. But as of right now, it's like I can see the hope and the light
Mm,
at the end of the tunnel. Like yeah, we're going somewhere. There's
yes,
so
we
much
are.
work to do, and I mean it's a blessing. We're actually receiving the word. It
Yes,
gives
we
you a
are.
reason to
Eh,
want to come.
yes,
I'm telling you,
God. Yes, God.
we're growing. We're growing by the week, as you know. We're growing.
Yeah.
I mean, even our Bible studies. One of the things that
Yes.
me and my godfather, I'm gonna throw him under the bus a little bit. We was actually
Go
talking
ahead.
about was that even our numbers in Bible study right now is at
Way
numbers
better
that
than
it
it's ever
wasn't.
been. It
It's
wasn't
never
like
been.
that even
It wasn't
when
even when Bishop was alive.
Bishop
Just
was
being honest.
alive. Our numbers are bigger. Yeah.
So I mean that's no, but I just thank God for where we are right now, and I'm excited about the future, man. That's all I can say. I'm really excited to see where we going, see these ministries.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a different atmosphere. it's a
It
totally
Yeah.
is.
different atmosphere in the
It
church.
is.
It's like
Like
the zealousness of the people has returned.
exactly. I
Yeah.
remember Marcus. I remember there was a time when the women would be doing different things. They had all the crowd,
They sure
you
did.
know. What I'm saying? But now it's like we
Now
got
the
the
men
men.
be up there
Now the
pushing the
men like
women
we
backwards.
talking louder than you know.
We
So
showing up, man. We are
yes,
showing
it's an
up. The men are
exciting
showing
time to
up.
be in ministry,
Yes,
man. I'm telling
it
you.
really is.
Yes,
It
sir.
really is. It's so exciting. I'm really glad. I'm really happy for where we are,
Yes, sir.
how we're moving, how we're growing, and you can feel it and you can see it.
Yes,
And
sir.
when you can feel and see, that
Yes, sir.
says a whole lot. When you can
Yes,
feel
sir.
things and you can see it, because it's not just on the surface, it's really working on the inside. You know,
Yes, sir.
Lady Drina and I, we be having these conversations. We have these conversations quite often about
Yes.
how the church is going. And, you know, we still get frustrated, you know, with
Of
things that are
course.
happening.
Of course.
We
Of
get
course.
I've
frustrated.
Of
recently
course.
become
Oh,
frustrated.
God,
Of course.
you
Of
know.
course.
But what I want people to understand is that our righteous indignation is quantified. It's
Yes.
quantified because of what has happened. I mean,
Hmm.
and you remember how, because you came here on Oak Ridge Road. You
No,
know,
no, I came
you
actually at the high school.
at the high school, okay, on
Went to churches at the high
Hiawassee.
school. Hiawassee,
Okay.
yes. Hmm.
Hiawassee. And for going on to 11, 12 years, you've been here, you've seen, and it wasn't like you didn't come in not knowing what had happened. Like you came
Exactly.
in. But here's the thing. Okay, so what? Tell the people that I'm glad you said that. Tell the people when you and Sister Ashley came to
Hmm.
visit,
Yeah.
what happened when you came to visit? How was
So
that
we
week?
actually,
That set that weekend up for us.
yeah, so we actually came on our 3rd-year anniversary. And so I was coming because it was just a God thing, believe it or not. That's the best way I can describe it. It was a God thing. We came here because we're like, okay, where are we gonna go this year for our anniversary? Like let's try Orlando. This was our first time even flying on a plane, you know. And so, but I wanted to come to Orlando because it was a time when we would visit Jacksonville. We're like, oh, okay, we're close to Orlando. Maybe we can go because I want to go visit uh, the music store that I work for, Keyboard Exchange, as well. Like, well,
Uh-huh.
Superintendent Hutchins is somewhere there because it's almost like what happened to Bishop, because as far as South Carolina go and the national scenes and the Church of God in Christ, it's like he disappeared. I'm like, okay, well, we got to go see where he is. And so by the time we got here on, well, we was actually in the end. Ashley was sleeping, and I could hear a still small voice that said, "When you get there, I'm gonna do something for you." I didn't know what that meant.
That's
I
what
had
Ashley
no
said
clue.
to you.
No, this was God speaking.
Oh
Obviously,
wow.
it was a still
Wow.
small voice. When you get there, I'm gonna do something for you. And so, lo and behold, I would just kind of cut to the chase. When
Hmm, hmm.
we visit Keyboard Exchange first, which was on that Saturday. And we went in the store. It was about to shut down. I was playing some of the organs and stuff. And the owner of the company, Mr. Jim, he was like, "Hey, man, if you was ever to get a job in the area as a musician, a minister of music, or whatever, man, you have an automatic job here." And I'm saying, okay, well, okay. And this is also one of those testimonies because I would watch their website as a kid. I'm talking about 11, 12, 13 years old, somewhere up in there.
Wow.
And watch, and it was like, so it was always a dream to even go visit this place. And now it's okay, he's offering me a job. And so on that Sunday morning, we went to visit New Life that Sunday morning, and it was in Sunday school. The bishop would greet all the people. Hey, how you doing? How did you hear about us? So forth. It's like, oh, Bishop, we know you were from South Carolina. Oh, y'all my peoples. Y'all my peoples. And so, as service went on and service was going on, I was just kind of listening, like, oh man, this ain't the caliber of what we know far as what Bishop was doing in South Carolina, because Family
Hmm.
Worship Center was it.
Off
it.
the chains.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, one church in 3 locations, it was it. Like choir, musicians, some of the best came out of that church, and so like, oh, we ain't used to, but and
It
so
was a transition.
it
It
was
was
a
a
transition,
transition.
yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
And so now when service is over with, Bishop's greeting everyone as we going out, and like, hey, so what brought y'all here? He's talking with us. Like, yeah, our anniversary. So what do you do? Well, well, Bishop, I'm doing this and I'm a musician. Oh, you a musician? You're a musician. Oh man, I'm looking for a musician. And I'm saying to myself, okay, really? So, so he said, yeah, I'm looking for a musician. My brother, Pastor T, he's actually playing the organ right now for me. But but I'm looking for someone. I want you to send me something what you playing. And he didn't know if I could play or not.
Hmm.
And so lo and behold, I said, as soon as I got back home, I'm telling you, as soon as we got back home, I went straight to our church and recorded a video right then and there. I emailed it to Bishop. And Bishop,
He called you in
I sent
5
it to him.
minutes.
He called, it wasn't even 5 minutes. He called me. When can you be here? I said, Bishop, I'm like, then he changed it. He said, no, I need you here this weekend. I'm saying, oh my God, now I gotta tell my pastor that I gotta, I was stuck up to the rock and the hard place. Do I put it off for a few weeks? He said, I need you here this weekend. And so we came that weekend, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that following week we was moving here, and we've been here ever
Wow.
since. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Chance encounter.
Yes, sir.
But it was a dream. It was a
Yes, sir.
dream.
It was a
And
dream. Yeah.
God made that come. And that's why people don't know. Listen, I'm learning on this walk when people say things. I take them for what they're saying because I don't know what their experience was. And I have to
Exactly.
appreciate their experience as why they are doing what they do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, well, why would you leave South Carolina and come here? Why would you do this and why would you do
Right,
that?
Florida.
I don't know what your experience was or
Yeah.
what your
Yeah.
dreams and your aspirations. I have had
Yeah.
some of my cousins that I had conversations with family members, and they asked me about certain things as why do you do this and why do you do that? And I explained it to them, because when I was a kid growing up, this is what I dreamed of doing. This is what
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw myself doing. My teacher, one of my teachers in school, she told me that I was going to be a newscaster.
Oh wow.
He told me,
Well, you
he said,
technically doing it
Martin,
now.
and I'm technically doing it now. Didn't know that
Yeah.
it would be on this level of where I
Yeah.
am now, but
Yeah.
she told me that I was going to be a newscaster, and if I could, and I'm going to write her a letter. I'm going to actually reach back out to her because she was actually my favorite teacher. But she spoke to me like she was one of those ones that, because she was a white lady. She is a white lady. I think she's still living. But she's her name is Mrs. Chambers, Mrs. Chamberlain, Miss Chamberlain. I'll never forget it. She was my absolute favorite teacher in the whole world, and she encouraged and just she planted some stuff in me. Let me just say that. So I appreciate you where you are and
Yes, sir.
how you accentuated the ministry, because when you got here, you saw the transition. You
Yes,
saw
sir.
where we were. You knew before those things happened. And that's why when you said that, you were like, well, God, what happened? What happened? What happened? Being where we are now, you appreciate what the people before us appreciated. You had the ones that had the struggle from Ivy Lane, from and all the different places from Oak Ridge. There's an appreciation of that struggle. There is an appreciation of that struggle. And when you understand the struggle that New Life Church of Orlando has gone through, from Malone Memorial, OIC, New Life, you understand that this right here that we are going through, this is the enemy. This is the devil trying to conquer like he has always, because there's word for generations here at this church. I can't hear you, brother. You're on
Yeah.
mute.
All right. I said
There he is.
absolutely. Absolutely.
There's.
Mhm. There's word for generations, and the enemy doesn't like it. I was telling Lady Drina earlier in the show that Bishop was a forward thinker. He
Oh
didn't think
yes.
on
Always.
the right now.
Oh
Always.
yes.
It wasn't what can I do and what can I get right now.
Yeah.
He
Exactly.
saw years down the
Yes, he
road.
did. Yes, he
And
did.
that's
And it
something he always said. You got to see
See
it
it. Yes.
before
you see it.
you see
Oh,
it.
you'll
And I
never
was
see it.
like,
You'll
Bishop,
never
what?
see
Oh,
it.
you'll never see it.
You'll never
Mhm.
see it.
Never
You
see it.
got
See it
to.
before you see it, or you'll never see
You
it.
have to. It's not just vain words. He
Mhm.
actually lived by those things that he said. And I was talking to my former pastor and mentor, Superintendent Ricky Rose today, and Elder Marcus, he said, I'm gonna tell you something. He said, under the time that you have been under Bishop Hutchins, he said, I listen to you, and he said, you have learned so much. So I
Mm.
hear it in you. And that was when I went
Yeah.
there. When I tell you I put my listening ears on and I put
Yes.
my
Yes.
glasses on, when I watched this man, listened to him and watched him, I was like a sponge. I was like a
Yes.
sponge, man. I was soaking in everything he said, every move he made, whether I agreed with it or not,
Yes.
because I
Exactly.
knew, I knew I knew that this man was anointed for what
Yeah,
Mhm.
he was doing.
absolutely.
He was
Exactly.
picked, he was
Absolutely.
molded, he was shaped for this. He
Yeah.
was,
Yes.
when they say a Ford tough, he was built for this.
Oh
That man was
man.
built for this.
Yes, he was.
And so that's why so many people, you got hate from the left, the right, and the center. He caught it
Oh yeah.
all. He
Yes, sir.
caught it all. And what people don't like is when you have strong personality and strong faith. It ain't that you hate nobody. You just know what you believe in, and you know where you're going,
Mhm.
and you're not gonna let anybody stop you from getting there. Look where
Mhm.
we come. Look where we
Yep.
are. Will we allow New Life? Will you allow us to lose everything that we have and our generations don't see it?
No, sir.
No, no, we
No,
can't do
sir.
it. We can't do it. We cannot do it. So we got a long way to go. And Brother Carter, Minister Carter, we appreciate you,
Yes, sir.
man. We appreciate you.
Yes,
Listen,
sir.
ladies and
I
gentlemen, this
appreciate
man,
y'all.
man, you're a musical genius. This man,
Yeah.
and y'all don't know he's a hidden gem. I'm trying to tell y'all, he can sing, he can play. Listen, this dude is a master tailor. This
Oh,
dude
this
can.
man, come on, dude.
This brother is so multi-talented. He's a hidden gem. Y'all don't understand.
Wow.
Y'all don't
Wow.
understand. This man is a hidden gem. I appreciate you so much, man. You
Yes,
are
sir. Likewise.
man,
Likewise.
man, man, man. So, brother, we're gonna let you go because we
I
appreciate you
love
coming on. But
y'all.
we
I
love you
thank y'all for the
too.
opportunity. This ain't gonna be the last time, of
No,
course.
sir. You might be
That's right,
another
sir. Come
host
on
in a
back.
little while.
Oh,
You
Yeah.
come
might be
on,
another
man.
Yeah.
host.
Join us. Join us. Join us.
Whatever.
Might be bringing you on as another one of our hosts. You know.
Come
Yeah, yeah.
on,
You
man.
know, I got a new job now, so we might need some
Yeah, that's what
substitutions.
I'm saying. There might be days Drina can't be
Might
there,
need some
so
substitutions. We
I
throw
got
you
you. I
right on
got
in the
you.
midst.
I got you. Whatever y'all need me to do, y'all
yes,
know
sir.
that.
We can do this. We can do it. Hey, man, we love
Yes,
you.
sir.
We
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you,
Love you
bro.
too. Yes,
All
sir.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Get them babies, babysit.
right.
All right.
That was good.
Ah,
And just I appreciate him for taking the time to come on here and be with us,
yes,
Lady
yes,
Trina. I
yes.
really, really do.
Yeah, I love him, man. I just love everything that he stands
Yeah,
for, and
yeah.
he's the same. Like he doesn't change, man.
He
Him and
doesn't change.
Ashley, they don't change. I
He
love
doesn't.
them
Nope,
both.
they don't. He and Ashley
Yeah.
and Baby Pebbles.
Yes. She had like she liked me for like 5 seconds.
I told you better
Sis.
take advantage of it when
Listen,
she
I
give
just
you
said,
some.
let me get that. Let me just get it. Let me take that. Because baby,
Take it while
that
you
was
can.
it. That was it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
She let me hold her one time. I was like, "Oh, I'm taking advantage of this
I'm
one."
trying to tell you. But hey, Travis, baby, that's my girl
Oh,
right
she's a
there.
princess.
Listen,
That's
she
princess number
she
two.
knows who I
Yes,
am. I
God.
promise
Oh my
y'all.
God.
I already told
Oh
him
my
she gonna
God.
say Drina before she say Daddy.
I'm telling you, that baby's so beautiful. It's commercial, baby. She is
Oh my
so
goodness.
beautiful.
We
I
just
love,
we
I love,
and you know what
I
I
love
love
our
about
babies.
babies and children? They're our next generation.
They
They're
are.
generations to come. And
They
to
are.
see God growing our church with children, that's a blessing. There
That's
I've been
right.
to some churches where recently there are no youth.
Mm-mm.
There are no youth.
Mm-mm.
No youth.
No.
And if you have a church with no youth, That's basically
That's
a
right.
dying church.
That's right.
You cannot
Hey,
have a
Sister
church with
Nichols.
no youth. That's a dying church.
It is a church with no children, no youth. It's a dying church, and
Dying
that's not where we
church.
want to be. That's
Mm-mm.
not where we want to be. We are on the move. We are growing. We are moving, and it's important. Now, what we are doing is we're looking up and we're moving forward. Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely. Looking up
Period.
and moving
Period.
forward, trusting
You know,
God in the process.
trusting him, trusting him,
Yeah.
trusting him
But
all the
as
way.
Bishop used to always say, as we're waiting, while we're waiting,
We're
while we're
gonna trust
waiting,
the
he'll
Lord.
be like, Lady Drina, that was your cue. That was your cue. You can look right over there at me. I be missing my cue all the time.
Just so y'all know, I call baby Adelie. Her name is Adelie Carter. Adelie Carter. We
Yeah,
call her
she's
baby Pebbles.
Pebbles.
You know, like
She's
Pebbles from the
Adelie.
Flintstones. Pebbles from the Flintstones. I promise y'all, it does not. Throughout when I tell you she talked just like you hear and I
You
mean the
and my
inflections,
girl.
everything, and she is having a whole conversation.
Hey, Minister Sabbath, we're praying for you.
What's up, my
My
brother?
Lord.
What's up? What's up, Minister Sabbath? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We really appreciate you for joining us
Yeah.
during this important conversation today. We want you to stay tuned for more updates as we bring them on this issue. We're looking towards, like Minister Carter said, we can now actually see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just remember, together, new life. I want to say this to you because I have always said that, and you don't have to like what I'm doing, regardless of what side you're on. But light has to be shined on a dangerous culture in the church. And that culture is the culture of protocol, the culture of traditionalism, because those things can set up altars in your mind
Yeah.
and your spirit, and you won't even realize it
Yeah.
because you will overlook the wrong that someone has done and not know the devastation that it has left behind. And God is going to hold us accountable. Don't be
Oh,
mad at
yes,
me
he
about that.
is. Yes, God is. He's
But
going to
if
hold
you,
all of us
He's going
accountable
to hold us accountable. And
for
one of the
every
elders,
deed.
that's right, for every deed. And one of the elders said that to me last night. He said, Elder Marcus, if we do not open up our mouths and speak up and stand for righteousness, God is going to hold us accountable.
Period. Period.
Us. So we want you all to understand. I want you to remember that together we can reclaim the sanctity of our church. We can reclaim the sanctity of our church. Together,
Yeah.
together we can do
It
this.
reminds me of a scripture in the Bible that says, together we stand and divided we fall. We have to have unity and
Got
stand.
to,
Stand up for
got to
righteousness. I'm not telling
stand
you to
up for
stand up for a
righteousness.
person. I'm
That's
telling
right.
you to stand up for truth and stand up for righteousness.
That's right.
Truth and righteousness.
That's right. This ain't no political ploy. It's just what is right.
Yes.
What is right and what is done right. And understand that all of the things that have been done in the dark are going to actually eventually come to light. And I'm telling you that you are going to be upset, some of you, and you're going to be surprised, some
You're
of
gonna
you.
be
And
hurt.
some of you are going to be hurt and in
Yeah.
disbelief. Do not take my word. Research like we did. Dig like we did.
Yeah.
Read for yourself like we did. Don't ever
Absolutely.
sit back and let someone say something to you and you take it at face value when you know their history.
And use your discernment. You should
That's
have
right.
discernment.
That's
Listen to
right.
your intuitions. Listen to the voice
Hey,
of
Jemaya.
God, the voice of God, the voice of reasoning in your
That's right.
heart and in your mind.
That's right.
Listen, God
That's right.
speaks to us. Sometimes we don't listen, but He
Hmm.
speaks.
He speaks. Now, we got a couple of minutes, but Drina, I want to remind the people. Remember, just for those who came in late, they saw they saw Randolph's the interview with Minister Carter, but they
Yes.
didn't catch the first part. So we have to leave you all with an understanding of something
Yes.
that
Hmm.
we started this off when we were talking and we were speaking about the things that were happening in our church. And I'm telling you all to follow the money. Follow the money, ladies and
Pay
gentlemen.
attention.
Follow the money. Pay attention, because when you follow where the money is going, anytime that when you see what your money, oh, here we are, right? Can y'all tell us, anybody who is a member of their church, can you all tell us what their money has produced? Because again, they told me to stop going up and stop going up. But I asked the question, would you go to jail? Would you sue somebody if they stole $100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000? I'm going to stop at 600,000. I'm going to let that sit there. I'm going to stop at $600,000 and I'm going to let that sit there, because Bishop left this church completely solvent. Not one record of finances, nothing. So I'm going to play this for y'all. We're going to pray. We're going home.
Thank you, sir. April 26, 2023, to the members of New Life. The Board of Trustees of New Life Ministry met Friday, April 21st, 2023. One of the major agendas and items that covered during that meeting was regarding the general financial and legal health of the church. During the meeting, we were fortunate to have an objective banker, financier professional, Mr. Paolo Eceid. He's a commercial loan officer and financier, to present his findings relative to the financial health of New Life Church. He reviewed the following items prior to the discussion with the board: revenue from January 2023 through March 2023, expenses from January 2023 through March 2023, and revenue and expenses for the same period in 2022 and the full years of actuals. He utilized the above data to conclude the following. The New Life Church financial picture is healthy. The 2023 full year trajectory, based on his assessment, is that expenses will be adequately covered based on equal to or better than revenue in comparison to full year 2022. The overall debt of New Life Church versus its value is healthy and has New Life Church financially positioned in a very favorable manner. After reviewing this information with him, majority of the board of directors have concluded that New Life Church is financially healthy. Furthermore, the board.
I needed to pause it right there for a minute, Drina, because I heard something. She said that 2023, at that point, the church was more financially healthy than in 2022. And she is absolutely right. You know why? Because this was after Bishop's death and when all the monies, right? We're not even talking about the insurance money, but we're talking about things that were left that Bishop has set up. So, of course, at that point in March, by the time March had come around, we were in a better position. But find out what position we are in now. Find out what we are in now. No one knows where this money is. No one, except for these two people that you see right here. You see Tangela Thomas and you see Dennis Hutchins. And maybe their attorneys know. I don't know. Maybe their attorneys know. So absolutely, yes, we were in March in a better financial position in March of 2023 than we were in March of 2022, because Bishop was alive and the monies from his transitions and the different savings that he had made were not made readily available until that time. $100,000. Would you arrest Trina?
Yes.
Would you press charges? $200,000. Would you?
Absolutely. I would press charges and ask for restitution back to the church. I would
300.
literally do it. I think a professional audit should be done and all findings should be given to the court.
An audit, a forensic audit. What about $300,000, Trina?
Absolutely.
Forensic audit.
Mhm. Definitely.
What about $400,000, Lady Trina? Forensic audit.
Absolutely.
What about $500,000, Lady Trina? Forensic
Absolutely.
audit. What about
Absolutely.
$600,000, Lady Trina? Forensic audit. Did I say 600? I did. And I'm going to sit it right there. Now, let me let you all hear the rest of this.
The board also concluded that this healthy position is in large part due to the membership's faithful.
Now, remember, she said, you heard her, she said they met with the board. I'm going to back this up because she said that they met with the board. They met with the board. Okay, board. What did y'all find out? What did y'all hear? What did the board hear and what did the board know? And what is it that we are not finding out? Tell me, what did the board hear and what did the board know? Let me back this up a little bit more, Trina, Lady Trina.
Covered based on equal to or better than revenue in comparison to full year 2022. The overall debt of New Life Church versus its value is healthy and has New Life Church financially positioned in a very favorable manner. After reviewing this information with him, majority of the board of directors have concluded that New Life Church is financially healthy.
Is that what the board of directors has concluded? That New Life Church is financially healthy? Has the mortgage been paid? Because she made a statement there. She made a statement. And I want to know, and New Life Church of Orlando should want to know, have we paid the mortgage since Dennis Hutchins has taken over? What have Tangela Thomas and Dennis Hutchins, Mr. Dennis Hutchins, what have they done with the church money? What have you all done with our money? That's what we want to know. Why are you pulling out cash? Who are you paying? Where is money going? $100,000, Lady Drina? Would you seek? Would you sue? $200,000, Lady Drina? Would you sue? 3, 4, 5. Somebody said she was bought for 30 shekels.
Furthermore, the board also concluded that this healthy position is in large part due to the membership's faithful and steadfast financial giving of tithes and offering. The board also
financial giving and tithe. Now, if the financial giving is
the members giving
thank
financial and tithes, that the members has helped this is what I heard. Okay,
that's going. What I heard too, Lady Drina. Let me play it again.
Going. Yep. Yeah.
Discussed and reviewed the current litigation matters, and as you can appreciate, we are not at liberty to elaborate on these matters because they are in active litigation status. However, please be advised of the following. All matters relative to the various litigations have adequately legal representation.
So,
with your offering and tithe.
With your offering and tithe and the tenant money.
And the tenant money.
That's what's being paid and has probably been forepaid because there's a whole lot of other outstanding bills, including the mortgage. Now, if the mortgage has been paid, produce the evidence.
Second, we are confident that all matters will be resolved and will not impact the financial stability of New Life Church. And third, the board members will not be held liable for any of these matters.
That's the
That's
thing.
not
The
even,
board
and that's a broad statement. I mean,
that
that's
is
a
a
really
very broad
bold,
statement.
broad statement. You can't say that they're going to be free of anything. If they met and there was mishandling of money that they knew about, they're held accountable too.
They're gonna be, because a forensic
Definitely
audit
going to
needs to be
be.
done. A
Yeah.
forensic audit needs to be done. It needs to be brought forth what these people have done. Investigate, investigate,
Investigate.
investigate,
That's
investigate. Get to the
audit,
bottom of it
audit,
and
audit,
audit.
audit.
Follow that trail. That money is the trail is gonna show exactly what has happened. The reason, y'all, this is important is because we are a 501c3, Florida law, federal law, Florida law, federal law dictates these things. And if those monies have been misappropriated, I think it should even go all the way back to the church, the dissolving of the church in Tennessee, where it was over $400,000 there. We may be past the statute of limitations, but we are not here, not right now. And the thing that this man said, I'm gonna tell y'all something. He threw us all, he threw people under the bus. Oh, thank you, thank you. I just got a fact check, Lady Drina. Someone
Okay.
said possibly. The only thing that that Tangela may have been referring to about the litigation was the other lawsuit against the insurance policy.
Mm.
But this right here, where we are right now, ain't no hiding from that if they pull off the covers on that. When I ain't even gonna say if they, when they, because it's coming. It is coming. And while they are fighting to try to stop these things from happening by using our money, the tenant money, but it's killing me because from my understanding, the tithing that they are putting into the thing isn't even equaling up to $100. So who's giving tithe and offering? Who's giving tithe and offering? That you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me say this: you got maybe 10 people, and y'all only coming up and offering with $10, with $70. Who's lying? The people, Ananias and Sapphira. If everybody got $5 that they're giving, let's say that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. I don't even think it's 14 people.
Well, I'm gonna say
that
this. If I
show
was
up.
making $800 a week, I have a good tithe. So if they giving $5,
And offering.
I have a good tithe and offering $800 a week.
It's only 10%. So where that
I tell you.
$70 coming from?
Yeah.
Because you're taking the tenant money. You have all the tenants. That means the churches and the schools. The churches and the schools. You got the tithe. And so whenever we give tithe and offering, and the people are upset about it, and rightly so.
They should be. Absolutely.
When we give our tithe and offering, it is for the building of the church, not for you to come and take the money with one check and not report that to anyone else on the IAB, as is stated in the order by the judge. And if she get up here and tell all this stuff, let's keep going.
In summary, the litigation matters are being appropriately addressed, and we solicit your prayers for a speedy and successful outcome. Finally, the board would like to ask you to join in expressing our sincere appreciation to Pastor D for his dedication and professional attentiveness to these complex matters over the past 4 months while dealing with his own personal immense grief.
Now, the grief part just blows my mind. I'm like, is he really grieving? Or was there like a place where they took advantage? Hey, Sister Stephanie. Hey, Mama Gloria. Florida statute 617.0834. Florida statute. Drina, can you look that up for me real quick?
I'm sorry, which one is it?
Florida statute 617.0834. It should be number 1, the first. Florida statute 617.0834. I'm gonna back this up again because some people did not get to hear this. while you looking for
the
that.
general financial and legal health of
And because y'all remember now what she said at the
Thank you,
beginning.
sir. April 26, 2023, to the members of New Life. The Board of Trustees of New Life Ministry met Friday, April 21st, 2023.
Now I know for sure there were at least 3 board members who I know were not a part of that meeting. I know for sure. I know for sure that there were at least 3 board members who were not a part of that meeting.
One of the major agendas and items that covered during that meeting was
Because some of the board members said they didn't even have a meeting. I talked to one and he told me he didn't. No, as a matter of fact, I spoke to 2 board members who said that they didn't have a meeting.
regarding the general financial and legal health of the church. During the meeting, we were fortunate to have an objective banker, financier, professional, Mr. Paolo ECE. He's a commercial loan officer and financier.
Now, this man, I believe, who they're speaking of, Lady Drina, is actually the loan officer from the bank where the mortgage is being held. I may be wrong, but this is not a certified independent CPA, and he or she may only be looking at records affiliated with
Surface
at
things.
that exactly surface stuff. They are not looking at any movement of the money, any hidden agenda, none of that stuff. So here's what she said. Hey, Ashley.
New Life. The Board of Trustees of New Life Ministry met Friday, April 21st, 2023. One of the major agendas and items that covered during that meeting was regarding the general financial and legal health of the church. During the meeting, we were fortunate to have an objective banker, financier, professional, Mr. Paolo ECE. He's a commercial loan officer and financier, to present his findings relative to the financial health of New Life Church. He reviewed the following items prior to the discussion with the board: revenue from January 2023 through March 2023, expenses from January 2023 through March 2023, and revenue and expenses for the same period in 2022 and the full years of actuals. He utilized the above data to conclude the following. The New Life Church financial picture is healthy. The 2023 full-year trajectory based on his assessment is that expenses will be adequately covered based on equal to or better than revenue in comparison to full year 2022. The overall debt of New Life Church versus its value is healthy and has New Life Church financially positioned in a very favorable manner. After reviewing this information with him, majority of the board of directors have concluded that New Life Church is financially healthy.
We're gonna leave that right there. I guess he was wrong, and I'm not buying it either. I agree. He was wrong because if he only saw with what the investigation needs to go forth to find out exactly what happened, that needs to happen. Because if
I
we
like what
keep,
Miss Kimberly posted too.
I do too. I do too. I love it because what's going to happen if we keep going the way that we are going, there won't be a New Life Church.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we're seeing all of the money that is being spent on attorneys and other things that are not being spent by us, but Attorney McMillan and Attorney Odessa-Joyner, the best interest is whatever it is that they're getting paid to do.
Yep, exactly.
It's whatever they're getting paid to do. If there has never ever been, because when we sit down and we speak with the attorneys and the different members of the church, there are families on both sides, and all they want is a resolve to this.
Yeah,
they want it to be done. But those 2 people, they don't care. Now, if she said that the board
drag
it out for years, and some people are gonna pass away before there's a resolve to this thing. It could be me, I don't know. But the thing about it is this: You have to understand that it's only going here for them. It's just that money, that money. And if those funds are being misappropriated, it needs to be found out.
It
Period.
does. We need a audit done,
Yeah,
a real
a
one,
real
a
audit.
real audit done. And I believe that if anything comes up, then the authorities need to be contacted, and those parties that are involved need to be prosecuted, and not just prosecuted, but they need to pay restitution. Every dime they took from New Life Church members and the church needs to be paid back. They need to pay restitution back. I don't care how many years it takes. They need to pay the church back.
I just got another fact check. The judge did order an audit.
Well, praise be
The
unto God.
judge ordered a financial forensic audit of our finances, and attorney McMillan and attorney Onisia Joyner are fighting it. They
Oh, of
don't
course you're
want.
gonna fight it. But
They
guess
don't
what?
want the
The judge can
judge,
order it, and you
and
can't
the
fight
judge
a
ordered
judge
it.
order. You can you if a judge
That
order and you fight it, you look guilty.
that money is going to show.
You look
That
guilty.
audit is going to show exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Would
you
it be
look
a
guilty. Why would you fight that? If you want
yeah?
to show that you're in good standing, if you want to show that you haven't done anything misappropriated with those funds, why would you have your lawyers that you're paying with our tithes and offering? Why would you
And the
have your lawyers
tenant
and the
money.
tenants' money? Why would you
'Cause that's
have
where they're
them
getting the
to
bulk of
fight
it from. That's where they're
the
getting the
tenant?
bulk of it from.
Absolutely.
Only in America can you use the
And
money that's coming into
intimidating.
the church
They
to
are
fight.
intimidating some of these tenants
Mhm.
and getting their money by
That audit gonna
intimidation.
tell the story. That audit is going to tell the story.
And
And
Angela
and
Thomas, you
it's
should be
gonna point.
ashamed.
It's gonna point. It's gonna find. And you cannot. You listen. That what do y'all think sent Martha Stewart to jail? It was a forensic audit.
A forensic audit.
Prison. Let me say jail. Prison.
She went to prison.
She went to prison.
But if she would have been black, she would have had more time. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
Well,
we
you know
don't.
what? I don't know, because when you have a whole lot of money, they treat you different. Your skin color look different.
Because hers was so enough different. Because
Because it
listen,
was
I
somebody
think
else
she
who
had
went
a
to
recliner
jail.
chair in prison. I think she
Look,
had a whole recliner chair in prison. I don't
what's
think she
he
suffered
did too? He had a cushy prison sentence too. What was his name? That actor, uh,
oh
the action actor, the black guy.
I can't
I'm
think.
looking
I
at his
can't.
face right now. Do
Yeah.
all the did all the vampire, the Blade movies. I forgot his name, but he went to jail. He went to prison on a forensic audit. I look as IRA, not the IRS, but the IRS.
IRS.
Our 501c3 can be taken from us, so we have to take the measures to protect it. And
Yeah.
that forensic audit is going to pull every single
Wesley
thing.
Snipes. Yep.
Every single
Wesley
thing.
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, thank you.
Wesley
That's
Snipes.
right. When he went to
Yeah.
prison, thank you, Mama Glory. He went to prison. There was a forensic audit that was
Yeah.
done. How do you think they go? This is when Cohen went to prison. Cohen, the attorney for Donald Trump. It wasn't just the other stuff that he did, but it was the money. People, when you steal money, that's a big deal.
It's
You might
considered
think it's not.
embezzlement.
Yes,
It's a lot of names behind it.
it is a crime of morality. It's a
Yeah,
moral crime,
a crime.
an
And then you
ethics
doing
crime.
it in, that's so unethical to be doing all of this in a faith-based organization.
Because they take advantage of the fact that we love God and we're supposed to be,
Yes.
we
Yes.
love the Lord
Yes.
and we just want everything to be right.
Yes.
And if that's right, Minister Felder. If just like Lady Drina said, if there was nothing wrong, I would say go ahead,
Go ahead, do it.
do it.
Yeah.
Because they're only looking at the last 6 months.
That's it. That's all they're looking at.
Do it.
Do
When I
it.
tell y'all that Bishop left us completely financially solvent, he did. There was
They check it
enough
from
money to
December to
stand
now.
for years to
Mhm.
come.
Yeah.
not just and when people who are not used to handling finances, they'll run through it like a swim, like they're swimming in a swimming pool.
Yeah. That's
Run
real.
through it.
And
They'll
it
run
runs
through it
through their hands, man. They don't
because
know
they're
what to
not
do with
used
it.
to. They don't know how to do it. They don't have the financial
Yeah.
wherewithal. You have taken this money. You have done whatever it is you do, but they're gonna find out where it went.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I never forget. My identity was stolen. My identity is stolen, and IRS contacted me, and they treated me like I was the person
Like
that
you
was
was the
stealing.
criminal.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
I was the criminal,
Your
and it
own
didn't
ID.
my own. And I didn't care. I told them, I said, "Listen, at the end of the day, I know who I am, and I'm
Mm,
gonna wait this out." So I waited it out. I let them do their audit. They audited me. It took them over a year, and they took my taxes. They took everything. Like I'm talking about that whole year. They took everything. But let me tell you what God did. I ain't have to fight that battle. When they figured out that the person that they were investigating was the one that was actually the fraud, and I was the real person, they had to pay me every dime plus interest. Y'all hear me?
mm, mm.
Every dime that they held, and they had to pay me for every day they held it.
Wow. You know what, Mama Gloria, you're so right. Mama Gloria said it's a shame how Christian people let money come before God for the love of
For
money.
the
The
love
love of
of
money.
money. It is the
Drina, I
root.
had it's the root of all evil. Drina, I had one of my when I was in the military, one of my homeboys, we've been in Afghanistan together. One of my homeboys stole my identity. People used to think we were brothers because we looked so much
Y'all
alike.
favorite. Hmm.
We favored. They just swore we was related. The Negro stole my ID and was writing checks on me. The bank was calling me. They closing my account because my check. The way I found out, I was off with my cousin. We had went to New York, and I went to pull some money out of my bank account, and it said insufficient funds. So I'm thinking maybe there's
What?
something wrong with the bank
Yeah,
because I
something
had just
wrong.
got
Hmm.
paid.
Right.
And the army give you them nice checks. So I was like,
What?
okay, I got
Amen.
money. Got money. So I'm looking when I get back to the base after the weekend because I had to borrow money from a cousin. And I said, well, I'm going to go to the bank first thing Monday morning. They were like, you ain't got no money in the bank. I'm like, "What?" So the military has a division like the FBI, the Army does. It's
Yes.
called the
Yes.
CID.
Mhm.
I had to go to the CID. Do you not know that those people were telling me that I was stealing my own money?
I bet they did.
And let me tell you how they called it. Me with my dumb self, my homeboy helping me try to find who's stealing the money. And he's stealing the money the whole time. This thing went on for months. This
Oh
thing
my
went on for
Lord.
months. And so I went into the office with the criminal investigator division. The lady that was the officer that was investigating my crime, her name was Bird, called the Officer Bird. And I went off on her because they made me sign like 1,000 papers with my signature on it. And my fingers was like this. And I was going off on her because I'm saying, y'all acting like I'm stealing my own money. I don't even have money to pay my bills, my rent, y'all. And she was like, well, it looked like it's you. But they had to make sure. But when
Right.
they
Right.
did find my homeboy, let me tell you how they called him. They said, I'm on my way to the bank to make a deposit. While I'm making a deposit in the drive, I'm inside the bank making a deposit. He's in the drive-through making a
Trying to
withdrawal.
withdraw.
And I had made friends with the people at the bank. So the black lady, when she saw him through the drive-through, she asked for the ID. And he gave her the ID, and she said, well, Mr. Scallions, there's something wrong with your account. Can you come in? And he took
Wow.
off. When he took off, they called the military police. So I'm standing in formation because it's at the end of the day, and all
Yeah.
my homeboys come running up, talking, man, they arrested Rob. They arrested Rob. And I was like, what? They said they arrested Rob. So we all up in the room, he crying, and we was like, we don't believe it. We don't believe it. So I said, I'm going to Bird the first thing Monday morning because it's the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Close it. I went into the office. I'm in there going off on her. You know what she did?
What she
She was
said?
looking at me, and then she threw my ID across the table at me. She said, Sarge, this was what we found in his car. I said, oh my God. This
Your
nigga,
friend.
my friend.
Your friend.
People, we don't want to believe the truth. That's why I said that, because we don't want to believe the truth when it's staring us in our face. It's staring us in our face. Staring us in our face. This forensic audit is going to tell it. It's going to speak loud. And I'm glad that the judge ordered a forensic audit. And I'm glad that the attorneys for Mr. Dennis Hutchins are fighting the forensic audit.
Yeah, because
They're
that makes
fighting
them
it.
look bad. But you know what? Even those attorneys, listen, even those attorneys need to be careful because you have a code of ethics as
God, people
well.
too. And in
And
this
y'all
one,
supposed to be
yes,
God people,
that's right.
right? We can literally at the end of this
Mm,
can go to the bar against you. At the
amen.
end of this. So you need to be careful too, lawyers. You
It's
have an
deep.
oath.
Oath.
Lawyers
That's
have
right.
an
They
oath.
have an oath. They
You
have an
have an
oath.
oath.
But that's why the Bible says, be woe unto
Woe
them
unto.
one, woe unto doctors and lawyers. It's speaking of them ones that are evil,
Yeah.
that do, do things that are
That
just,
do evil.
that's what
They
the
do
scripture is
evil.
speaking to.
Yeah. They
Mhm.
do evil.
But I also have a feeling, even with that, is that who they dealing with in Mr. Dennis Hutchins, I don't think they know the level of lies that this man will actually tell.
Mischievousness.
He's mischievous,
Lies. Everything.
devious,
Devious.
evil,
Evil.
wicked. I don't
Wicked.
think they really understand the level that he's at, to where he would do stuff like that. So he may not even be telling them the truth, but it's their job to be fact finders. It's their job
That's
to
that.
be fact
That's it.
finders.
Fact finders.
That's what their job is. But see, they getting paid to defend them. So they're gonna stand on, well, I'm just gonna defend you because that's what you paid me with our money. You paid me with the church money. You paid us with the tithe and offering. That's why the mortgage ain't been paid. And that's why all the other bills be late all the time. Threatening to shut this off, threatening to cut that off. You ain't got no emergency bill. There's no emergency garbage bill. Lady Drina has to go, ladies and gentlemen.
I do. I
That's all
love
right.
y'all
I'll
so much.
close it out. I'll
God
close it
bless
out.
you, man of
You don't
God.
have no you don't
Love
have no
y'all so much.
emergency. She loves you. She loves you. Love you, Lady Drina. We about to end in a minute. There's no emergency electricity bill. There's no emergency water bill. There's no emergency garbage bill. Those bills come every month at the same time. Love you too, Sister Phyllis. Songstress. Those bills come every month at the same time. The mail comes, you go through the mail, you see a bill with the income that is coming in, the budgets and the finances and all that. You just pay it because that money is there. That money comes in. You get money from the churches that are renting space, and you're getting money from the schools that are using the facility. The bill comes in, and it shouldn't, with the amount of people that you already know what it's going to be like. If you can't, you know when the bills are due. No one has to tell you. That's right. It's the same. It comes the same time every month. Not only does it come the same time, but they also send out alerts, whether you get an alert through text or whether you're getting an alert over the phone. That stuff never stops. It's constant. So why in the world are bills being late? Oh my God. When I tell you pretend crying, pretend cry, pretend cry, y'all listen, we have once what I hope is that every action to thwart the forensic audit is denied. by the judge. That's my hope and that's my prayer. It needs to be. We need to know what has transpired with all these monies from December to right now, from December to current. From December to current. And I believe that a lot of the people, a few of the people are doing it because they're really believing that they're going to be able to get away. But how would you not have any fear of doing something that you know? But here's the thing. Dennis might be protected, but the ones who did the actions for him, you all, if you did anything for him, because what he has learned is to keep his hands off. There's a scripture that talks about having clean hands. And in court, they have something that is called the doctrine of clean hands. Attorneys know about it. Y'all know about it. But also the people that stand before judges and have to go to court for anything, for any reason, a lot of times they're not afraid of that because they've been there. They think they know how to work the system, but the law is the law, is the law, is the law, is the law. That's what it is. The law is the law. And they are definitely going to fight, Jemiah. They're going to fight because what's going to happen, you are absolutely right. More is going to keep coming up. That forensic audit is going to show so much in those last, from December to now, that forensic audit is going to show a whole lot. Thank you. That's it. He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. They swear, they swore, they took oaths in court to tell the truth. They took oaths in court. The promise to tell the truth, nothing but the whole truth. I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the whole truth, so help me God. And then they lied on the stand, told absolute lies. And they said, well, that man don't know what he talking about. I do know what I'm talking about, because everything that came to us, we fact checked, and we also reached out to supporters, to supporting people who would give us the information regarding the truth about things. Don't let these people do what they are doing. And we are hoping, while we're at the end of this thing, that it is going to work out the way we want it to work out. We got a long way to go. And we just want to see this thing be over. It's not about going into the sanctuary, but it's about maintaining this, what we have for the future. We have several projects that are being held up. Y'all know good and well that with all this going on, that there's no projected breaking the grounds for that senior living facility with the man who doesn't even know all the nuances that have to be taken care of before we can even get to a place where we can even start building. Know that. We are so far from that. We are so far away from that. But I digress for now. I just want to thank you all for coming on tonight. Appreciate every one of you who chimed in, every one of you who looked, every one of you who watched, whether you like me or whether you don't. Thank you for taking the moment to peep Conversations with the Culture. We are going to be back next week. I might even do a little pop-up. I was just kind of worn out from all the foolishness that has been going on. But Elder Carter, Minister Randolph Carter's godfather, spoke to me and uplifted my spirit and encouraged me. And I also got a call from my mentor, my other mentor, Pastor Ricky Rose, who spoke some encouragement into my heart as well. And, you know, I conversate with Minister Randolph Carter a lot. And I also talk to my pastor, Pastor Derek W. Hutchins Jr., and he's doing well. Y'all pray for Pastor. He is actually stuck in Minneapolis trying to get home. Flight still has not gone out. So you all keep him in prayer. He's trying to get back home, and we pray that he have a safe journey and return. All right. Hey. Sorry, them allergies are kicking in. and I gotta get that taken care of. So gotta go put a Zyrtec in, y'all. Gotta go get a Zyrtec. But good night. Thank y'all for tuning in to Conversations with the Culture.